Alright, hello guys, welcome to another Magic the Gathering comprehensive draft video. Let's fire off a draft, not waste any more time. And I don't think I'm going to be doing the sealed event since I'm going to be quite busy. So if you want to watch other sealed videos, go ahead. Honestly, I think sealed requires a lot less skill than draft, one can argue. And you're just basically given a pile of cards, and obviously there comes a point when you just know how to build the best deck, and against other people with better pools, they're just going to win regardless of how well you do. That's my argument. So pack one, pick one. Rare is pretty bad. Definitely not unplayable, but very okayish, since it can also not benefit on your favor. There's Memory Lapse, which is medium. Mage Hunter is fine. The best cards in this pack are Devouring Tendrils and Frost Trickster. Both pretty solid cards. Good removal spell. Good evasive threat, and then there's also environmental sciences that can help you hit your land drops, fix splash, etc. I think it's between tendrils, frost trickster, and environmental sciences. Might just take the environmental sciences just to stay open. Like, it's not a very exciting first pick, but definitely pretty solid, since this is a lesson that can just go in any deck. And I mean, these two cards are quite good, but I mean, they're not like incredibly powerful that I need to take them. So let's just take environmental sciences and stay open. And in this pack, the best cards are probably Inkling Summoning and Mage Hunter's Onslaught. Overall, I think we're going to take the Inkling Summoning here, just to have more value, because the set is all about value. It's more about getting nice 2-for-1s and generating things. So, yeah, hopefully I end up in a black deck that can play this. Maybe play, end up in Silver Quill. There's also Mage Hunter's Onslaught, again, as a solid removal spell, but I think the Inkling Summoning is just better. 1-for-1s in this set aren't super amazing, since if you aren't going to be in Silver Quill, your black decks just aren't going to be powerful, even if with a lot of removal. I just find Witterbloom very underwhelming. So, yeah, let's just take Inkling Summoning here. But Mage Hunter's Onslaught would be my second pick if it wasn't in this pack. And then here, there's no amazing black or white cards. There's Practical Research going pretty late. There's also Witterbloom Apprentice. What else is there in this pack? Not much. I guess Pop Quiz is quite good. And that's about it. And yeah, I mean, it would make sense to take Witterbloom Apprentice following the Inkling Summoning to stay in black, but again, I don't like Witterbloom. I think it's pretty bad. I mean, this is definitely one of the cards I can get going, but I think I'm just going to take Practical Research here and stick with blue, since I've been, again, pretty impressed by blue with this set. So yeah, let's just take it here. Otherwise, it is the Apprentice, and I would take it, but Practical Research pretty late. It's a sign maybe Prismari's open, and we're seeing another Practical Research, although there's another Inkling Summoning here as well. I think with one Practical Research, I don't need to prioritize a second one, because that would be too much card draw in blue. So maybe we just take the second Inkling Summoning and just draft black this time, since we haven't done it in a while. Grape Shot could also be a thing. Nice 1-for-1 if you can. It can be a fine removal spell if you can cast multiple instances at in the same turn, but overall it's a little bit difficult to pull off. So let's just take another Summoning. And then here, wow, there's an Elemental Summoning pretty late as well. No amazing black or white cards. Blue seems open. Mentor's Guidance, Elemental Summoning. I think I just take the Summoning then, so we can either end up in Prismari or some sort of black or white deck. Okay, Burying Books is pretty late. Okay, so that's definitely a sign that we should be drafting blue, seeing that Burying Book is quite late, since this is one of the best commons in the set. There's also Eureka Moment, which is actually splashable if we end up in Prismari. Aether Helix is also quite strong. Yeah, I guess we'll be drafting blue, so I might as well just put the Inkling Summonings in the sideboard, seeing these cards all late, and which one do I want to take? I think I'll just take Burying Books, which is very efficient. Instant speed is nice. Like, Aether Helix could be better, but it would require me to splash for it, or draft Quandrix and splash for the Practical Research, which I'm not sure yet, whereas Burying Books is just one of the best commons in the set. It keeps me in blue, so I can still keep my options open, so let's just take Burying Books, and we can still end up in Prismari somehow. But I don't want to commit to Quandrix yet, or splash, or make it difficult to splash Aether Helix. Like, sure, Aether Helix can be slightly better than Burying Books, but I don't really think it's by much, so I think we just take Burying Books by for now, and then we end up drafting blue, seeing that those blue cards were pretty late. And that does make me happy because, again, I think blue's the best color in this set. So how we taking the Frost Trickster pack 1 pick 1? Oh, I mean, I'm so happy with the Environmental Sciences. The Inkling Summoning really in that pack wasn't amazing. Wow, Maelstrom Muse pretty late. Also, Pop Quiz is quite good, and Mage Duel, all pretty good cards. Given that I seem to be leaning more towards Prismari with the Practical Research, I think I just take the Maelstrom Muse here. Mage Duel is also excellent. Pop Quiz is also great, but I think we just take the more powerful card here, and Maelstrom Muse is just going to be an overperformer. If we do end up drafting Prismari, Strategic Planning is okay-ish. Mercurial Transformation is a very medium lesson. There's Waterfall Aerialist, which is a fine filler 4-drop. A decent evasive threat we can cast. So lots of interesting options here. I mean, Strategic Planning is okay, but it's not like anything amazing. I think I'm just going to take the Waterfall Aerialist. Mercurial Transformation is also very medium, so I guess I'll just grab another flying threat for the deck. And we can always use a Curate on turn 2. Haven't been too impressed by the Grading Ignis, although it could help us ramp. It's just not very reliable, since you do lose tempo by bouncing this back. I mean, you gain back the tempo by gaining the mana, but I think Curate is just slightly better, since we might want to trigger Magecraft, and there's just better 3-drops. But yeah, I'll consider the Curate for now, but I wouldn't mind playing Maelstrom Muse, but I don't think it's like a priority and a necessity when we have the Grading Ignis when we have Maelstrom Muse giving us a discount already. And there's also the Sage, the 3-mana, the 2/2 flyer that can give your expensive spells a discount. So even Ogre Battleseer quite late, decent 5-drop. Love having 1 copy of these. And Burying Books is more like a 3-drop, I guess, if they're being aggressive. And then we'll take a Pop Quiz, nice way to learn. Just a great cantrip overall. We have 2 lessons, so we could use more ways to learn. And this card is quite good. So yeah, I definitely think we found the right guild / college, and it's supposed to be Prismari to go resculpt, but not playing to play it. Hopefully we can pick up some good top-end spells, some nice 3-drops that can help us ramp, and if not, we can always end up in Quandrix. Ether Helix, okay. Ether Helix pick 14 is definitely a sign. There's also First Day of Class, which can help us learn, but it's not that great. Where we can end up actually splashing Ether Helix, or end up maining it if we end up in blue-green. The question is this a Cody deck? It could be a Cody deck, although we do have a decent amount of permanence in this deck. I mean, it's definitely good, but we could just take maybe a Quandrix Pledge Mage, which is quite good in both Quandrix and Prismari. There's also Return Pastcar, which is a good card to also splash for. If we knew for sure we were in Quandrix, we could take the Cultivate to help us splash our red spells, which could definitely be reasonable. But overall, I do want to stick with either Prismari or Quandrix, so I would definitely want to stay the most open, and the most open choice would probably be the Quandrix Pledge Mage here, since it's quite excellent in both decks. And I don't think we're going to be a Cody deck, honestly. It's just a little bit too ambitious. It's a fun card, and definitely build around I can definitely start with, but we definitely need more summonings, so this is going to be at best in Teamer, which is what we're trying to do. But I think the Pledge Mage overall is just more safer, and we don't need to build around it as much. Here we could take Eureka Moment or another Practical Research or Heat Debate. I think we want Heat Debate as more interaction, and that will commit us to Prismari for sure. Practical Research, again, we have one already. Eureka Moment, more card draw, but we have a decent amount of card draw already with cards like Pop Quiz, Curate, and Practical Research, so definitely want to take the removal spell. Professor is also quite good, but I'm not a big fan of white in this set, so take a Heated Debate. And then there's another Sciences, but we have one already. Could take a second Pop Quiz, I'm not against it. There's also the Land. The Land could also be quite reasonable. Currently we only have one way to learn, but I don't really, but I think the land might be more important since we have a pop quiz already, since it just helps us fix our mana, and I don't need to prioritize a second environmental sciences, so sure, let's take a campus here. Just to ensure we have the mana fixing, so our deck doesn't have any troubles curving out. And if we're going to be playing a card like Quandrix Pledge Mage, it's nice to have that campus just so it can help us improve the chances of playing Pledge Mage on curve. Here, nothing exciting. There's another Battle Seer, but I don't really like to play more than one copy. This pack is just awful. The best card is like Battle Mathematician and Allen Shield Mage. Maybe I end up splashing white, so maybe the Lorehold Campus could be reasonable. There's a Devastating Mastery, which I don't think is worth splashing. This is a very medium lesson, so just take a Lorehold Campus in case we end up splashing white. But I'm playing the splash screen for the Ether Helix since it's quite good. Irregardless of either your Quandrix or Prismari, it's just great in both colors, in both guilds, I mean. So we have environmental sciences for that, but we'll see. And here, wow, another unexciting pack. Not a big fan of Tome Shredder. It's very medium from my experience. It hasn't done much. It can be an okay creature. I might use a Letter of Acceptance maybe as a way to ramp. Spirit Summoning is more of one of the more weaker lessons that I'm not very excited about grabbing. So if we play Letter, we can maybe pick up some more expensive spells in Prismari in the next pack or so, and then this card is great. So yeah, let's just take Letter then. And then speaking of expensive spells, there's an Explosive Welcome we might want to ramp into. There's also Expressive Iteration, which is also quite excellent. Just a powerful 2-for-1, so maybe I just take that because it's just cheaper. I do like this card a lot. It's just 2 mana draw 2, which is great. And yeah, we are definitely going to be a valued sort of deck. So yeah, I think I'm fine passing up Explosive Welcome. Just the Expressive Iteration is just so strong. It's just, again, a powerful 2-for-1. There's another pop quiz, but I think I want to take an Expressive Iteration here. And we'll take a Spectacle Mage, although there's a Fractal Summoning. But we currently only have one way to learn, so I don't need to prioritize the Fractal Summoning as much. Whereas a Spectacle Mage can be pretty nice to help us ramp our expensive spells. So now it's going to be a bit more of a priority to pick up more expensive spells. And it's just very good with Elemental Summoning. We can take a Thrill of Possibilities as more card draw. Not a big fan of the Bud Follower. It is a 2-drop, but it's pretty bad. So just take it here. It's pretty useless in this set. And wow, even Cody Wield, wow. I don't think we're splashing for Golden Ratio, but hey, I guess we can end up playing Cody. But we won't be able to be playing permanents. And although we don't have a lot of permanents at all, so maybe it can still happen, so we'll see. And wow, even a Practical Research late, I think I'll take it here. Spirit Summoning, very medium. Soothsayer Adept, very medium. So we'll just be drawing our deck out, and we'll take another pop quiz. Probably don't need second research, I guess, and then maybe we don't mind playing 2 pop quiz to help us learn. And that's quite good. And then I don't think any of these matter, just take the rare for the vault. And we're for sure 100% playing Prismari. So what can we use in our next deck? Maybe some late game spells, some early 2-drops like the Prismari Pledge Mages would be awesome in this type of deck. Don't know if we'll be doing the whole Cody thing, but it's definitely possible. Overall, Cody's going to be at its best with the tokens. The 7 mana make 2 4/4 tokens, which we currently don't have in the deck. But like, it's definitely one of the fun cards you can build around, but it does require a lot of work, and it does require a bit of luck as well. So, ooh, Explosive Welcome, Jesus. Yeah, this is a sign that we should be in the Prismari ramp deck. And I'm quite happy that it wheeled, so definitely in the right college, at least. And some excellent cards here. Divide by Zero is great. There's also Ingenious Mastery. As more card draw, Opt is also awesome. There's another Ether Helix we could splash for, but we don't have any splashing for green. Another Spectacle Mage to help us ramp. I think it's just Divide by Zero. Opt is also good. I mean, we do have a lot of card draw already. Thrill, Expressive Iteration, Curate, Double Pop Quiz, Practical Research. Yeah, we're not going to run out of ways to gain card advantage, I don't think. So we just need more interaction. Divide by Zero is great. It's also at card advantage, since it can also grab us a lesson. So yeah, let's take a Divide by Zero. This card's fantastic. And then here, we could take another Spectacle Mage, although there's another heated debate. Currently, we're light on creatures, but it's not like a Spectacle Mage is going to be, like, super broken, that it's going to, like, help us win the game. Whereas heated debate is just, again, good removal. So think I'll just take the Heat Debate and hopefully pick up more tokens and summonings. Oh, wow. Yeah, Torrent Sculptor is definitely the pick here. Speaking of creatures that can help us close out, don't mind a Torrent Sculptor. Just a nice body we can place on the ground, and definitely think it's better than Pop Quiz. Can also be used as a flexible removal spell, but in this deck, I think we'll be more happy to play the creature half than the actual spell half, so seems quite good. And then we'll take another elemental summoning here. We have more ways to learn now with double Pop Quiz and divide by 0. Don't mind grabbing the elemental summoning, and we might not even splash Ether Helix, to be honest, since we have a lot of interaction in this deck. So yeah, could just grab up another elemental summoning instead. Ooh, Dream Strix is great. Speaking of evasive threats, I could use one. There's also Maelstrom Muse. A second one would also be awesome, but Dream Strix is just too good, right? We have a lot of 3, but like I'm happy. I don't want to really wait until turn 4 until I can play something to fly. So I could just use a Dream Strix here. We don't have too many expensive spells as well. There's only an Explosive Welcome. We already have a Letter of Acceptance. So maybe we just run a Dream Strix, and it's just a good evasive flyer. So, and that can help us learn. So this card's fantastic as well. A Pigment Storm is a nice removal spell, although I wouldn't mind an Illustrious Historian as a good 2-drop. But the question is, do I even need 2-drops in this type of deck? I mean, it does prevent me from getting run over. Pigment Storm is also just quite good, just another great removal spell for the deck as well. Might just prefer Pigment Storm, and hopefully I just pick up a 2-drop in the next packs. Just gonna take the removal spells, since this is we're gonna be this controlling sort of deck. And I could take a nice Frost Boil Snarl as a good rare pickup. Already have double Pop Quiz, so don't need to prioritize the second one. More ways to improve the mana base. Maybe I play a First Day of Class just to learn on turn 2. So could just use some creatures on turn 2. So maybe I shouldn't have passed up the Illustrious Historian. So yeah, maybe this is just a deck that just doesn't play any 2-drops. This could also just be a Cody deck. We can just play Cody on 3 as a fine blocker maybe, or Reflective Golem. But Cody is just more fun, I think. But he also denies whatchamacallit, permanents from being played, so it's not that great actually. Op would be fantastic, but I think we need the Illustrious Historian since we barely have any 2-drops to help us in the early game. And we could have some, and we definitely need more creatures in this deck. So Op would be great, but gotta take the Historian here so we don't end up getting run over. Letter might not be necessary. Do I actually end up playing Cody? Like, I really don't have too many permanents, but I need to find a way to get Cody killed so I can eventually play out permanents, or maybe I just don't play him at all. Maybe we play the Bibliotech Assistant if we need more permanents, and a decent way to get some value back in the late game. And maybe we do just end up playing Letter or Reflective Golem as a okayish blocker. We're not going to have any synergies with the Golem, but it's just a 2-3 in the early game, so it could be reasonable. Another Pop Quiz. Okay, not sure if I'll play it. There's also Extended Wall, Excavated Wall, which I could actually take here, because I don't really need like a million Pop Quizzes. We just need some early game stuff. Speaking of early game, maybe I just need a Blood Age General on turn 2. Maybe that's just better than a Wall. And then, wow, even late Burying Books, this card is fantastic. I don't know why people are passing it up. Maybe I take a Befuddler instead over the Blood Age General. Since I'm not sure if 1 toughness even matters in this set, then we're not really playing Spirits. So I guess this is okay. And I definitely want to run 17 lands in this sort of deck. Okay, so just 1 cut. I think I like the Explosive Welcome as a good finisher. I like my 5s. I like the double Burying Books. Bibliotech Assistant is one of our weaker threats, weaker creatures, but it could be a decent flyer in the late game. We do have some flyers on turn 4 already. We have a flyer on turn 3. Double Pop Quiz seems okay. Spectacle Mage, Quandrix Pledge Mage. The weaker cards, this is a weaker card. I don't mind Curate. First Day of Class is also more of a weaker card. And then like maybe Thrill can be cuttable. So I think I like these 2s. The 3s are all looking pretty solid as well. We really just need 1 more cut. How many ways do we have to learn? Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 ways to learn. So we don't necessarily need to learn right away. The cards we can learn for: Environmental Sciences and Double Elemental Summoning. I mean, sometimes we might need to hit a land drop, and maybe First Day of Class can help us learn to get environmental sciences, and being 2 mana is quite efficient. The Befuddler can also be just a random 2-drop that we can just play, which I actually don't mind because it can actually ambush a creature in the early game, so I don't mind that. Thrill can give us some card advantage. How many card draw spells we have? 1, 2, 3, 4-ish, 5-ish. 5-ish card draw spells. How many threats do we have? 10 creatures. I mean, Biblical Tech Assistant is pretty bad. I know it can get back a spell, but it just denies a draw step, which can be quite annoying. The First Day of Class, maybe we can still play on turn 2 and learn, which could be okay-ish. Yeah, it could also be okay just to have it to learn. But then it's almost like a dead card, but it does help with the Quandrix Pledge Mage. Like, I could just cut the Assistant and just run something like this instead. So we have a lot of card advantage, some early creatures, and some decent flyers in the late game to help us close out. Because I haven't been really impressed by the Bibliotech Assistant, it's just very cuttable. Whereas these cards are just early things we can cast to leverage our late game better. So maybe we run something like this and we slightly favor blue, so 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9. So this seems reasonable. So yeah, let's give this a shot. And then yeah, Practical Research seems like a nice picture to have. And then hopefully this can get to 7 wins. If not, I think we'll still be okay. Alright, opening hand, 2-drop, okay. And then maybe into a 3-drop. I think I'll try this. And hopefully we don't end up not getting a land drop. Otherwise, I might have to thrill away something expensive like the Battle Seer. Okay, that's great, although it's a tapped land. So not necessarily what I want to see, but I mean, maybe it's okay still. I mean, might just want to get out the Historian, and then next turn we could just end up casting Thrill of Possibilities, we'll see. Or end up discarding this Prismari Campus if we do find a land. Okay, the land is good, so I think by moving to combat, we can attack for 2. The opponent takes it, and I think I'll just play the land out. And if I don't hit my 4th land drop, I'm fine just thrilling away the Prismari Campus, or at least playing it and thrilling away something else. Just curving out with the Dream Strix is so powerful because it just gives me a lot of tempo. Could have an end of turn ability to take out Dream Strix, which can be reasonable. He can maybe have an Arcane Subtraction, but he just passes the turn, so good sign. Alright, that's okay. Alright, nice 2-for-1, but I also get to learn, so it's really not that bad. And then we want to get an Elemental Summoning, I think. So we definitely want to hit our land drops. So what do we have here? We can thrill possibilities away, maybe the Ogre Battle Seer, and see what's up. Because I don't really think this card is that effective. Whereas Practical Research can draw me a bunch of stuff, so I think I'm in the main phase to thrill here. And then we're going to discard the Ogre Battle Seer. Alright, and we found spells anyway, so it was fine discarding the Battle Seer. So this improved my chances of getting a land 5 potentially for the Elemental Summoning. Or Pigment Storm. I'm hoping we don't eventually hit a land pocket, but it's definitely possible, so yeah. Let's just drop the Maelstrom Muse and see what happens. Could see Heat of Debate end of turn, we'll see. Alright, just a Eureka moment, sure. And no land, wow. Opponent missing his land drop with a Eureka moment, that's a little bit, could be a little bit concerning. Let's see. Next turn we can maybe get a discount off of this, so this will be 3 mana, or maybe we can, I guess we can get a discount pop quiz into maybe like a land drop. Who knows? Bondrix Cultivator. Don't know if I really need to kill that with the heated debates. There could be much more threatening stuff to get rid of. Yeah, I think I attack first. I mean, I think that's okay. It does deny me ramp. So the argument is to actually use heat debate on the 3/5 then, if he just does this to me, because yeah, I mean, I'll be taking 3, but I do want to hit my land drop, so maybe I pop quiz here. And then, yeah, I might need to grab the environmental sciences this time to ensure I hit my land drops, because I am missing, and that's a huge, that's definitely a big deal. So if I attack this next turn, I can cast this for free, get a land drop, and then cast maybe Heat Debate or Pigment Storm. Could also see a fight spell on my 2/4. That's a good one. So probably need a Burying Books to answer this. Still no lands. Okay, I think we need to get a free Environmental Sciences then. Yeah, definitely need to use this for free. And we want to get, I think, a red source or a blue source. I think a blue source, since we have double red already. Yeah, missing these land drops definitely stink. So how do I answer this? I think I might need to double Heat Debate eventually. So I guess the best play here is maybe the Summoning, just to have a blocker against the 3/4. And then hopefully this 6/6 doesn't go around. Hopefully I don't lose this 4/4 and take a million, so I think this has to be the play. And then hopefully I can maybe get rid of this somehow with a bounce trick at least, I think. So hopefully no removal. I do have double Burying Books in the deck, so maybe that can help. But again, the fact that I'm missing my land drops is a big problem. And the opponent's just ramping here. Alright, so we're fine taking 6, at least no removal for the 4/4. And then I'm hoping I can find an answer to this, at least. I can definitely find an answer to that, but I can't really find an answer to the Heated Debates. Yeah, I guess I just have to attack here and maybe curate. So do I want to curate, that is? I could always just pop quiz and then have a heated debate up for the 4/4 instead, but the 6/6 is going to be a problem, so I probably want to curate to dig a little bit deeper. Do I need a Befuddler? Befuddler can maybe help me block the 4/4, so it could also be reasonable, but I think I really need to land here. So yeah, I think we just need to hit a land drop. Play land, and then I can keep up Heat Debate, or I can just Heat Debate now. Maybe it's fine now, in case something happens, and then I'll take another 6. And hopefully that's okay. I do have answers to this. but I can't find any. So if he kills this, then I'm just gonna take a million and probably lose. So can't do much when you're missing your land drops against a Quandrix deck that's going big. Yeah, we're definitely blocking here. Could have a pump trick, but I mean, I have to block. Yep. I mean, it doesn't kill it. It just bounces, so that's okay. But this is not okay. Wow, Serpentine Curve. Yeah, that's not going to do it, so I'm probably do I need to practical research here? I probably need to keep the 2/4 back though, but I would like a discount perhaps. So if I find a bounce spell, I can bounce a 7/7, jump to 6/6, but I still need to stay back, so it's still not looking good. So I might want to keep up a heat debate or just pop quiz main phase. I can also play out the waterfall aerialist, keep up heated debates, but I don't really want to chump, so I think we just go for the pop quiz here. And yeah, there's no bounce spell, so I don't think we want to do anything. Yeah, I think we'll just concede here. We're just too far behind. And yeah, we're not getting our bounce spells for these tokens, so GG's. Opening hand, we do have Spectacle Mage. Seems okay-ish. I think I'll try it. Never cast Expressive Iteration on turn 2 because you want to get value by getting a land with it, so definitely something you want to cast on turn 3 or turn 4. Just flash into the bowler, okay. I don't like the fact that this is going to keep hitting me for 2 and I might have to trade a Spectacle Mage off, but it might be a necessary evil, we'll see. I was probably playing the tempo game plan and just... Okay, I guess he's ramping. I thought he would be more aggressive, but that's okay. And we'll just cast a Spectacle Mage, and then hopefully next turn maybe we can Expressive Iteration into something. Might keep this around because this is quite important to get a discounted Explosive Welcome, which can be pretty game-breaking. And hopefully no Fight spell here. Probably see a Mage Duel. I mean, it's not the worst. I'm only going to be taking 2, and then eventually I can maybe drop a large creature. Okay, just a Gambit. Divination for 3. It's basically Divination, but you lose 2 life. Or at least pay 2 life. Pledge Mage, okay. Yeah, let's get this going, and then I think I'm fine just tossing in another island and then attack for 2. If I can untap with the Pledge Mage, this can be quite awesome, so we'll see. But another Quandrix deck that's gaining a ton of value. Quandrix, I think, could just be the best guild, simply because of all the ramp and the powerful late game plays you can make, and then the ability to splash red is also quite strong. Whereas Prismari has less ways to ramp. They need to ramp with creatures, which can be quite volatile. I wish I could bounce that back, but that's unfortunate, so let's just iteration here. Maybe find a berry book or something. Yeah, I think we put the pop quiz in our hand. And then we put, I think, this into the library, or Prismari. No, we want to put this in the library, and then we want to exile this. I mean, I shouldn't have done that because I might need an untapped land, so actually I'm just going to play out land and say go. But I should have enough mana regardless, so that was a bit of a misplay, but that's okay. I guess I'll have to take 6. I can counter that with divide by 0, which I'm not against, honestly, since it's going to be a bit of an issue to deal with. So I think we'll bounce it back, so I don't have to pay the extra cost. Like, I can use this on a mage duel, but I think this is better. And then we can grab like an elemental summoning. And then hopefully no mage duel. Just a golden ratio to draw 3. Wow, that's insane. Yeah, that's quite incredible. And we can't cast an explosive welcome just yet. I can play land. And then I guess I can cast a elemental summoning for 4 mana. Maybe set up some sort of double block. Or chump. I mean, next turn I won't be able to kill this anyway, so I might need to set up a explosive welcome turn instead. We'll see. If he has a trick, then I think I'm totally screwed. Maybe I just need to put everything in front of it. And hopefully he doesn't have too much interaction, otherwise I think I'm just dead. Please no bounce trick. I mean, he can bounce to 5/5, but then these 2 trade, so he would need 2 instances. And he probably has. That's not the worst. I do lose two creatures, but I still keep my 5/5. You can always bounce it back, of course. This has ward, so that's annoying. So I can still play maybe the Maelstrom Muse and keep a pop quiz. And he's just going to draw cards here, which is insane. Maybe I should have been more aggressive with the 5/5. But I might need it as a blocker in case he kills my 2/4, so... Could see a fight spell, but then it would result in a trade at least. Question is, do I block this if he attacks? I mean, the ward is annoying. I won't be able to kill it, since it will cost a little bit more. So I want to maybe untap and cast the explosive welcome to maybe I want to pop quiz into a land into explosive welcome. I think that's kind of like my way of winning. Or maybe untap with this attack and then get the discount for explosive welcome and then kill the waterfall aerialist that way and take out Simone. Serpentine Curve for 5, okay. So I'm hoping I can maybe untap with this attack. Here comes the fight spell, of course. Yep, there's not much you can do against him. Then he still has wards, so it's going to be a problem. Also gains a counter, so there's nothing. So I also can't deal with it unless I find a bounce trick, so... Overall, just not good at all. Really in a tough spot against these Quandrix decks. And he probably has mana open for like the hexproof trick. I can Science this to gain some life, but I really think we need the elemental summoning here. I can play land into explosive welcome. Probably that's what I need to do in response to him tapping, and hopefully doesn't have a pump spell to take out my 3/1. So I think we just say go. I can also, can I double 4-drop? No, I would like to do this next turn, so I think we just say go. And then we wait until end of turn when he activates. And then we can explosive welcome while he's tapped out. And then hopefully I don't die to the flyer, but it's probably too late already. Because if he just bounces this, he can just kill me, so... Yep. Another unfortunate game, but, you know, we tried. Quandrix is just too strong, I think. Yep, GG's. Right, yep. Quandrix is just too strong. What can you do? I think it's either that you end up in the Quandrix ramp decks, or you end up in the Silver Quill Dex has the best archetypes in the set. Prismari is again pretty strong too if you can get there, but that's a big if. If they kill your creatures, it's quite bad because the problem is that they rely on their creatures to ramp into their late game plays, and that's not always reliable because creatures can always get bounced, removed, interrupted, etc. So alright, we can curate on turn 3, Spectacle Mage, curate on 2, Spectacle Mage on 3. Seems fine. Definitely don't want to cast Iteration since it's better later. So let's curate here. And then I think I want to pop Quiz on top, and then this can go into the graveyard perhaps. I mean, so next turn we're looking to play Spectacle Mage or Expressive. I can also just put both of them into the graveyard, honestly, to ensure that I hit my land drops. But I'll be playing an island next turn anyways. This also helps me learn, so maybe I just put this into the graveyard. Draw the pop Quiz. Play a land again. I mean, I could always just pop Quiz end of turn, but the Mage applies a bit of pressure and gives me a nice discount for my learn spell, so I could just pop Quiz into like the 4-drop next turn. So if he attacks, it's definitely a sign that there's something, or it's probably just a free roll. Probably just a free roll. I think I'm still going to pop Quiz here to draw a card and learn. And then we're going to learn Elemental Summoning. He misses land drops, so I think we're fine attacking for 2. And he also doesn't have Lash Amount, otherwise I think he would have killed this last turn. So some sort of Sultai deck. Hopefully he doesn't answer my Mage since I want to deploy this on 4. Field trip to learn, sure. Pass something, sure. And hitting my lands is nice. Yeah, I could also Iteration. I mean, key debate in Illustrious Historian, but I think this is fine. Just get it out while I can, play land and attack for 2. And then we can Iteration next turn to get some value. Opponent might just play the Pest something, but then I can maybe kill Dina and start attacking. Moldering Karok, okay. I can Pigment Storm that, and then cast, I don't know, I can also Expressive, maybe Expressive first is quite good. And then what we want to do is we want to put the Ogre Balsi in our hand, put the tap land into the library, and then put this into my hand so then I can cast the Pigment Storm. I think that's what we want to do. And then I can attack with both. And a Pledge Mage, so we can always bounce that instead. Maybe force a chump. I can also just use Torrent Sculptor. I think the mana value of this is still 5. So I can always experiment with the Torrent Sculptor to see if it works. So let's try that. Let's have some fun. Let's experiment. Alright, it does work. So I can force him to chump here by playing the Balseer and then attacking. So yeah, this game's probably over. Awesome. Finally got our first win. Can Frostball, Snar, reveal land and curate. Another Quandrix deck with Zamon on turn 2. Quite fitting, and then we want to put the land into the graveyard. And then we want to draw the Heated Debates. Might just Heated Debate away Zamon since she's already a problem. I mean, I can always keep up the Heated Debates, but she can always untap with this and do some shenanigans. So I think we just Heated Debate Zamon here before she becomes an issue in the future. So because she can potentially help him ramp, which we don't want. Like, ooh, okay. So I guess I want to kill this instead. Can always divide by 0 to make him recast it for tempo. And then we can always cast an Elemental Summoning the following turn. So I think I'll do that, so he doesn't get to activate it. And then we can learn the Elemental Summoning and start applying pressure. He can always play the creature half. Sure. So I might just want to grab the Ogre Spell Seer out to attack for 3, since I want to be quite aggressive here. There's also an argument for Maelstrom Muse, since he can potentially give a discount with an attack. And that could be actually quite reasonable as well. Symmetrist, okay. So now there's a reach creature, so that's a problem. So I think I just need to cast a Summoning and scry end of turn. And I might want to keep some lands on top to use Explosive Welcome to 2-for-1 him. Do I double block here? I think I do. And hopefully I don't get blown out, because, I mean, taking out this 4-4 is quite nice, so I will double block and see what's up. And hopefully, again, I don't get blown out. You could have a bounce trick here and then kill my 3-4, but it would need to be pretty expensive, I think. Okay. I mean, I guess he could have, like, some sort of a Snakeskin Veil trick. Yep, knew it. I mean, it's not really a 2-for-1. Expressive Iteration is also quite good. Although, I can't really... I guess I can play Muse into Expressive Iteration, so... or Expressive Iteration into... the 5-drop, so I guess that's okay. This way I only take 1 trample damage. I do want to set up a turn where I can, like, again, just 2-for-1 him. So I think we Expressive Iteration this turn first. And then we want to put, I guess... I think I might want to put the land in my hand. I don't think a 2-1 is going to amount to much, because I want to guarantee a land drop. And then we put one of them in the library, and then we exile this land. This way I can still play land into, I think, the Muse maybe? The Muse could actually help me get a discount, because I'm guaranteed to take 5 next turn anyways, while this can at least block the 3-3, and get maybe a cheaper Explosive Welcome, so I think I'll try that instead. And I'm probably blocking the 3-3, and hopefully he doesn't have more pump spells, because he's kind of locked on mana here. So if I manage to take out both these creatures, I should be fine. Just Eureka moment to his land drops. Okay, now next turn we can 2-for-1 him, and hopefully he doesn't have a second Snakeskin Veil. Snakeskin Veil is an uncommon, so it's highly unlikely that he has a second one. So I guess now what we can do is we can play land. I think I could always just main phase this. I think I will, because I don't think it's going to do much of anything. Yeah, pretty nice 2-for-1. I guess I should have main phase the attack to at least have blue mana up to cast a pop quiz, so never mind. Forgot this gave 3 extra mana, but that was a pretty solid 2-for-1 there. He can make a 4-4, I can always pop quiz. I guess I can always, yeah, pop quiz for 3 and then get a nice discount for the elemental something. Yeah, opponent missing his land drops is quite huge. And not developing his mana base. Also had to, we got a nice 2-for-1 there. Symmetrist, okay, another one. That's quite annoying. I think I might want to just pop quiz here. And then, yeah, another summoning seems fine. Play land. Yeah, and then we could also just double spell. No, we have to just play one of them. Yeah, let's just play another elemental summoning and hope for the best. If he attacks, that could imply he has a trick. Yeah, that's annoying. Guess I'll just take 4, and then hopefully get a discount next turn. That's really annoying. Even a Needlethorn Drake that can trade. Do I mind trading this? Like, I actually don't mind trading this. So I can get a discount on Pop Quiz, that can be quite nice, so let's do that. Actually, no. Yeah, let's not attack here, and then maybe we just develop the board. And I can still learn with the Dream Strix if something bad happens. And hopefully he's just out of stuff. Okay, just a large fractal token. Hopefully I can find a Burying Books to answer this. No more lands, please. And I can also scry my upkeep. I might need a 3-4 back to the blocker, and Burying Books is nice. Let's just play the Pop Quiz here. Torn Sculptor is also fantastic. Get a Sciences. Yeah, I might just want a large creature here. Like, I could Flamethrower Sonata, kill the on the Needlethorn Drake, and then Burying Books the other creature. I guess I want to Flamethrower Sonata on the 4-4 instead, or just cast this as a large creature. I'm not sure. I guess I might have to answer the 4-4, but I don't have any expensive spells to get through, so probably just need to play the Torn Sculptor perhaps, and keep up Burying Books. And then we'll say go. We have a 6-6, and then hopefully we can find answer to both of these, or at least one of them, and we should be okay. Not sure if it was correct. Maybe it was correct to save the other half to find, so we can remove the Master Symmetrist. Because that's also a problem. Like, both of these cards are a problem. Could see a fight spell maybe on the Torn Sculptor. There's an Overgrown Arc, that's okay. And a Sage, which is fine. I can always block that. Another Cemetery Sage. Sure. So lots of defense against flyers. Heat Debate seems awesome. Yeah, I can always attack for 6. Because I do need to start getting aggressive and then Heated Debate on the 4-4. And then keep up Burying Books. I think I like that. Let's attack first. He's probably going to take it though. Or at least block. Maybe I should have thought about that. Yeah, I think I should have thought about that. I think the trade is okay then. And then I'm fine using using the environmental sciences here. Getting a land, even though I'm forced to shuffle my library, does give me a bit of life. And I think I'll main phase the heat debate on the 4/4. And then we're fine passing. Maybe we should have just main phase the burying books. If he has a second fractal, I think I want to save the berry for that, and we can double block the 5/5 at least. Okay, just a pest summoning, so that's not too bad. Apprentice isn't too bad. Okay, so basically we just need to take out the 5/5 and start swinging in with the 3/4, I guess. The funny thing is that the cemetery stage can actually target my own Dream Strix to kill it, which is kind of funny. Historian, very medium. Yeah, Historian's pretty bad. I think I'll just bomb that and hope for something better. And then I don't think I have anything good to grab back. We'll just grab an Inkling Summoning, which doesn't do anything. And I guess the game plan is just to win with flyers now, so... Can always scribe the Battle Stealer and the land and the turn, we'll see. Its opponent planning to upcreep Scry, okay. You could maybe find something. First day of class, not something I need since we can't really learn into anything, so I think we have the bottom. And then I'm just going to activate the land to scry in the turn. I like the practical research for sure. So we'll just main phase it. I can also get a discount, so I think I want to attack first. And then we'll just keep playing our lands, say go. Can always put a stop on our upkeep as well. Can always bounce a token as well. I like the Pigment Storm, that's awesome. Yeah, let's just keep that on top. Go on to it. With the combat, and I think I want, again, I think I'm fine giving a discount to the Pigment Storm, since it will give me enough mana to scry. So I think we just attack with these two. Is it lethal if I kill a 1/1? Not really, since it's still only going to be 4 damage, so just want to get rid of this for now and then say go. So this game was pretty close, another strong Quandrix deck. I'm probably not going to block the token since I have Burying Books anyway, so yeah, not bad. 2 and 2. It's possible that we can still end up in 7 wins. I've been in situations like this before, so... We have a Befuddler. Torrent Sculptor can maybe discard to kill something. Some ways to learn. I think it's okay. We can always just flash this in on turn 2 to start applying some pressure, which could always be okay as well. Although being on the draw with this is not as good, so we'll see go. Can make this into a 5/5 with the Pigment Storm. Biomathematician. Yeah, I think I'll just flash a Befuddler like end of turn, even though I can't really attack. At least it's a 2/1 that can at least block a 2/2, and I just need tempo, so I think we'll just play land here and pass. Don't really see a reason for playing Torrent Sculptor, and I'm planning to maybe keep up Divide by 0 and Pop Quiz. And I'm fine blocking a 2/2 here. Since this is a trade I'm happy to make. Has his own Befuddler. I can always bounce his Befuddler, because if this resolves, it's going to get the it's going to get the discount, so I think we just do this. And then we'll grab an Elemental Summoning. Play lands. So if I play the Spectacle Mage, I can cast this for 4 next turn in case I miss a land drop. So I probably want to do that. And it also blocks the 1/1 better. Also seems like the opponent's also missing his land drops. Alright, and it's great that I kept up the Spectacle Mage. Since now I can attack for 2, and then we can get a nice discount from this Elemental Summoning. And the opponent misses land drop as well, so the discount really helps. Mage Duel, sure. I mean, I still have a 4/4 that's crashing in for a ton of damage, so that's fine. And then if I Torrent Sculptor, I can make a 5/5, so that's also great. So let's attack for 4. Again, I do miss on my land drop, but since the opponent's also missing out on his land drop, this just applies a lot of tempo, so just want to apply a lot of board presence here. While the opponent just doesn't have much. He can always flash in again the Befuddler, but I can always maybe hit land into Pigment Storm and mess up his blocks. I mean, either way, if he plans to flash in the Befuddler, he gets 3 for 1, which is not really in his favor, so. And he might be looking forward to killing the Torrent Sculptor, since it's just it has Ward 2, which is difficult to deal with. So this could just be a game where I don't really care about hitting my land drops. I'm just going to be hyper aggressive, just playing out my threats. And we have a Heat Debate. Okay, I think we're just going to go for it here. And then he's probably going to flash into Befuddler. I can blow him out with a Heat Debate. First, I want to see how he blocks. Burying Books. Sure. I guess that's reasonable. And I can always play Waterfall Aerialist just to apply even more pressure. And both of them have wards, so it's going to be hard to deal with if he's missing his land drops. Pledge Mage is medium. I think I'll just attack with ball. If he goes for a triple block, I'll just Heat Debate to blow him out. So this is probably game over if he decides to triple block here. Chumping's always not bad. Okay. Guess that's fine. And I think I'm going to Heat Debate the 2/2, since it could grow and become incredibly problematic, so. Yeah. Opponent stuck behind on lands, and we just had the extra land to play out our 5 drops, so. Alright, so 3 and 2. We're getting out of the dumpster. Okay, this hand isn't amazing. We can maybe first day of class into like into a land. Torrent Sculptor can maybe shoot something down if we pick up an instant or sorcery. I think it's okay since we have at least the other card that helps us hit our lands. I forgot what it's called, and we have our second source, so that's fine. I don't like the fact that this trades for the Befuller, so I might want to keep the Befuller just to have some good attacks. Yeah, I think I'll just first day of class here, or at least flashing the Befuller to hit for 2, but then he's going to keep the 1/1 back, which could be really annoying. First day of class will allow me to learn, so lots of options. Might actually keep the Torrent Sculptor to kill something, because I don't know if I even want to play this as a creature. Although this could be nice too. Let's first day of class here. And let's grab the Elemental Summoning here, because I can always discard the Elemental Summoning to hit something larger as well. I don't mind taking 1 per turn. This really isn't that big of a problem. The Pugilist, yeah, that's something I might have to kill with the Torrent Sculptor then. I guess we can always heat the bait. Yep. Just gonna main phase it, not gonna waste time. I can make this into a 4/4, but I want to get more value to make it into a 5/5. So probably fine playing out the Waterfall Aerialist and maybe offering a trade if he attacks. Fine taking 1 again, the 3/1 is fine, just staying back and blocking the Spectre. If he attacks with a Spectre, my question is, do I trade? I guess he's going to enhance the Spectre, so that's a problem. So I can't really block it, so that sucks. So what can I do here? I can Pledge Mage and Sculptor. I can use a Sculptor to discard Elemental Summoning to kill this, because that's going to be an issue, so I think I'll try that. We'll play the Pledge Mage. Use Flamethrower Sonata. Target the discard Elemental Summoning. Target the 3/4. And then we have a 3/3 back, and I can attack for 3 because I'm not playing on blocking here. This is probably going to stay back, but I can maybe Befuller Alert to ambush if he decides to play defense. Spectre. Okay. I think I'm fine attacking. If he double blocks, I can always again Befuller Alert to blow him out or use Burying Books. Yeah, let's just attack for 3. And then if he blocks, I'll just use Befuller as a combat trick. And that's totally fine. Can keep up Burying Books. Okay, a Fractal Token, so I might want to bounce a Fractal Token instead, and I'm fine keeping the 3/1 back to maybe trade for the Spectre. This is also annoying because it can constantly drain and gain him life advantage, so I have to also be careful there. Yeah, this is tough. I guess I'll just attack for 3 or keep this back, but then he can just... I mean, I think this is the more aggressive play, which I'm fine with. And then I'm fine attacking with these 2. And I can also attack with the Ogre Battleseer. I guess he can always attack, bet me back and drain, but then I can just Ogre Battleseer and try something here. I don't want to trade for the Cleaner Innkeeper because he can eventually put counters on the things, and that's also pretty annoying. Arrogant Poet. And just a Reckless Amplimancer. Okay. So I can pop Quiz. So if I cast the Ogre Battleseer, yeah, this is a problem. I think I need to be aggressive here, and I can still chump the Reckless Amplimancer. Because I'm dead if he gets to pump this. If he gets in, yeah, he can hit me for 6, but then if he takes even more, then that's going to be a problem. So I think this is fine. I can also pop Quiz to take a risk here. Yeah, let's take a risk. Let's pop Quiz. I don't think I'm winning with the Overbalance your play. And then I can always Environmental Sciences to gain life. The question is, can I play my island? I don't think I play land per turn. But I'll just play the Environmental Sciences to be safe. And I guess we can always play land into Ogre Battleseer, which I'm fine with, and I'm fine chumping the 2/2 as well. And we can always, again, use this to gain life. I can always swing back. And he might be forced to chump here. Yeah, he can pump this once. But he can't, but I can still chump it. If he tries to fly over, but then he's just going to be taking a ton of damage on the way back, so let's say attack with all next turn, he can chump here, pump the Reckless Amplimancer, and trade for the Waterfall Aerialist. I think I'm still fine attacking with all, since all these 3 threats are lethal. Like, his only way of maybe stabilizing is to activate the Spectre of Fens, and trading for the Waterfall Aerialist, chumping here, and then pumping here, but then he's still going to be, he still might have to play defense here, so we'll see. So I might have this figured out, so, yeah. Forgot that. If I knew that I didn't play a land, I think I would have did something else, but I don't think he can win here if he decides to be aggressive, so he's probably forced to stay back. Could have scryed end of turn, but I messed up. Yeah, let's just play the Environmental Sciences. Grow our Pledge Mage. I think I'll grab a land. I think I'm fine attacking, because if he decides to chump with the Arrogant Poet and trade here, and pump here, he's still going to be far behind, so I think I'm going to attack with all. The Pledge Mage is the biggest problem here. Like, he can maybe drain me and trade, but then he's going to be forced to chump for the Reckless Amplimancer, which is also not good. So I think this is worth it. Yep, this is the block, and he might be forced to pump the Amplimancer, but then he needs an answer to my 6/6, which is going to become a problem as well. We have Illustrious Historian that can chump. Might as well play land because he knows about it. And then unless he has removal for the Quandrix Pledge Mage, I think we have this. Because if he can't top deck removal or some chump blocker into a removal spell, yeah, the Pledge Mage is just game over. So yep, awesome. Pledge Mage does it again. And we're currently 4-2, so we're getting back. We're getting back to business after facing 2 pretty powerful Quandrix decks. Okay, Spectacle Mage. I mean, Historian on 2, Spectacle Mage seems pretty good, and we also get a discount on Practical Research if we get up to 4 lands. Team Pendant, okay. Opponent's planning to maybe play some tokens. So I guess we're going to be playing out the Spectacle Mage. And then maybe next turn Expressive Iteration because we have our land drop this turn. If we didn't have a land in hand, I would play the Expressive for sure. But this is just nice with the mana. All right, just going to cycle a charge through. Team Pendant is pretty expensive unless he can make one of those tokens. Ingredient is very medium, so probably planning to trade it with the Historian. Confer State of Class. I can Torrent Sculptor and kill this, but I don't think that's necessary. And I'm also fine with the trade if he goes for it. So let's see, do I want to Expressive first? Maybe Expressive first is fine. I want to put a spell in my hand. Yeah, I want to put the Dream Strix in my hand, I think. Bottom the Explosive Welcome. And then put the land into exile. Then we want to play out the land to hit our land drop. And yeah, I think I'm fine trading. It's not that big of a deal. Like, this, I eventually have to get rid of this because it's just going to be very annoying. And it's not like a 2-1 is good against pest tokens anyway, so might as well give him that free 2-for-1 where he gets to draw a card. And he should have, I think, did this first to play the land, but let's see, what can I do here? Dream Strix. First day in class into Dream Strix can be pretty nice. I can also Practical Research for 4. Don't think the Torrent Sculptor is going to gain much value, so I think the play here is play land first day of class. Grab the 5/5, and then play out the Dream Strix, and then attack for 2. Ooh, I guess it also gains haste. Forgot about the first day of class, so not a bad lesson to main deck if you have a lot of mana. Just being able to provide the counter and haste is quite strong. So I actually don't regret main decking this. And a Pledge Mage, which we can always bounce, so, or Pigment Storm. If we bounce it, what can we do? Not much. But I think we might want to, maybe this can finish him off better, so I think we just want to divide by 0. And then we want to, yep. Yeah, this is why I like the blue decks so much. They just have so much bounce and interaction. Whereas the green decks are just really clunky and have sorcery speed removal, and their stuff is pretty expensive. But I mean, like, still the tokens are pretty strong if you don't have an answer to them. But yeah, currently 5-2. We're getting back to business here. After almost getting completely swept, we might just hit 7 here with this Prismari deck. Historian on 2. Might need to hit some land drops, but I think it's still a fine keep. Maybe we can learn into some sort of environmental sciences, perhaps. Ooh, Crossbow Snarl, okay. Definitely want to play that so we can guarantee a turn 3 at least, so we don't have to play this tapped, so. Not a bad land for the deck. And if we miss a land drop, we could always divide by 0, get the environmental sciences to hit the land drop. But I'm hoping we can just hit net land 4 naturally, because I want to maybe grab a token with this. Eager first year. Yeah, I guess I might play defense here. I don't need to be aggressive and keep up my instances in case he has some sort of random pump trick. And if he has like Guiding Voice, I can punish him. Ooh, Axis Tunnel, pretty perfect in these types of decks. I think we let that resolve. Question is, do I kill it or do I bounce it? Might be more interested in bouncing it so I can eventually get a 4/4 to block this. So yeah, let's bounce it back. And then, yeah, let's grab a elemental summoning. And I think I'm fine with a trade now. He seems like the more aggressive deck, but he's kind of behind on tempo, so it's more advantageous if I'm being aggressive because I'm going to be winning the race in the long run if he keeps taking these hits. And then I can guarantee turn 4 into turn 5 with the divide by 0 play, whereas if I use Heat Debate, I could only guarantee to turn 4, so. And I think the trade here is really pretty nice here, but if not, I'm also fine taking it since we could also just be the more aggressive deck with this turn. And the Elemental Summoning can eventually block the 2/2. He can also enhance it with Guiding Voice, which can be pretty annoying as well. But if he wants to enhance a creature with Guiding Voice, I think he wants to enhance the Lorehold Pledge Mage instead. I guess I can attack for 3. I don't mind a trade. I can also Pigment Storm to keep the flyer up. Maybe that's better. So I can attack with both, maybe force a trade on their eager first year, and doesn't just deal a ton of damage to him. And this really sets him back, because if he plays a 2-2, it won't really block the elemental summoning. And he's trading down here, and I can always get the 2-1 back as a 3-2, so yeah. And this is hard to deal with the ward cost, so just forcing him to spend all this mana is great. And we also have Heated Debate as backup. Eventually, if we hit 3 more lands, Explosive Welcome can become a thing. Zephyr Boots into, I think, these Lorehold Pledge Mage. Okay, just a Spirit, Stonerise Spirit, not bad. Yeah, I think I'll just play the Elemental Summoning. He's most likely wanting to trade with the Stonerise Spirit. So I think I'm just going to stay back here. I think it's too valuable to trade a 4-drop into a 2-drop. And then hopefully next turn we can maybe Heat Debate, take out the 1-2, and then swing with both. Again for 7, and then you'll be down to 6. And then maybe we can Explosive Welcome for the win. That's fine. Okay, at least he's tapping out. He's probably going to stay back here. Practical Research isn't too bad. But I might just want to Heat Debate to just get in for damage. Although, it could be useful for something better. So yeah, why not? Let's Practical Research here. And I do like all of these spells. So maybe I'm fine discarding the Burying Books, keeping up the Heat Debates. Yeah, I don't really want to discard the lands. Let's discard Burying Books, because Heat Debate might be more better. And now I can attack and then flash into Befuddler. So that was a nice turn. Like, I would love the Burying Books, but we're about to get to turn 8 Explosive Welcome with double Heat Debate. Heat Debate is just a better spell, of course, because it just kills things. So he can equip for 2, but then he's going to be down. I can Welcome here, but I think we just want to Heat Debate, right? And get him for 5. And then we can always get back to Illustrious Historian, end of turn. And opponent's also missing his land drops, so definitely down behind. That's what you get for drafting white, folks, the worst color. You barely have any good removal, and then your creatures are just crappy unless they're enhanced. So, not a big fan of white in this set. Definitely draft blue, guys. The power of Quandrix and Prismari is undeniable. Like, the only time I'm happy drafting black and white is if I'm in Silver Quill. And Witterbloom is also just really bad. So, alright, so yeah, we almost got swept. Was 2-0, and now we're currently 6-2. Let's get the final boss, and yeah, claim our prize. So, hopefully we don't face against a broken Quandrix deck, and we just end up facing against another boring aggro deck that's missing their land drops, and we can get to 7. Okay, this isn't bad. We can always cast this, turn 3 Dream Strix, and then maybe Thrill on turn 2, we'll see. If we think we're flooding out, we want to Thrill. Thrill is a little bit awkward though with the 8 mana spell, but we might cast it on 2 or save it, which I'm still okay with. Okay, opponent with a turn 2 play. Yeah, I might throw away a land end of turn, although, you know, again, I do want to hit my land drop, so maybe I save it. Like, this can be better if I can guarantee maybe a land drop, but we do have an Expressive Iteration to hit it. So, not sure. I mean, it digs me pretty deep, so, and we're running 17 lands, so maybe I'm fine discarding a land end of turn. Make sure I discard the red, since I could eventually I might cast a Pledge Mage on turn 3, so this is fine. We got lands anyways. I think we're fine playing land into maybe Dream Strix, since it hits harder, and it's better to trade with a Reckless Amplimancer, so I think I don't mind this getting killed, and I also don't mind trading for the 2-2 here, because this can get out of hand later, so I might want to kill it instead. I think I'm blocking. Opponent just passes a turn. Sure, I guess I'll attack then. So he really wants to preserve his 2/2. Could be a Whirlwind of Denial, but I don't think I play around it this early. Okay. He can play land and always free roll me, but I guess he just wants to play out the Witterbloom Pledge Mage. I would love to get a value with the Quandrix Pledge Mage, but I think... Yeah, I guess I can Expressive Iteration into a land, attack with both, play a 3-mana Pigment Storm if I hit a land. I think I'll try that and risk it, since looking at 3 cards is pretty deep, so we want to put Burying Books in my hand, put the crappy Befuddler into my library, exile my land, play land, move to combat, attack with both, and then the Maelstrom use just gives me a really nice discount here. I can cast the Pigment Storm for 3 mana, and that's quite nice. Against a Quandrix deck as well, okay. Wormhole Serpents, okay. I think I just want to maybe double spell this turn so I can play land, attack with both. Cast the Pledge Mage. I think I'm gonna cast a Spectacle Mage here. Like, sure, I can cast a spell and grow this, but I think just applying more flyers is better, and then this guarantees a higher chance of us winning. Yeah, I think he should have used his Charge Through on his Dream Strix, or at least attacked, because I might have been forced to trade. But yeah, not bad 7-2 video. Started out 0-2, and we managed to get to 7 wins. And, you know, never give up, guys, even though you might get salty over your first, like, 2 losses against, like, really good decks. It's possible that you could definitely get to 7 against somehow, and this is definitely an example of us getting to 7 with just a decent Prismari deck. It was okay-ish, I honestly think. There was definitely some key components missing in this deck. Like, there wasn't a lot of top-end spells for us to ramp into. Like, I wouldn't mind, like, the 7-mana make 2 4/4 tokens as an extra top-end spell. Still got an Explosive Welcome, though, and we had a lot of interaction. Like, in terms of interaction, we had a lot. Let's see, let me go through our interaction, one moment. In terms of interaction, we have a lot. Explosive Welcome, double Burying Books, Pigment Storm, we have some good flyers on turn 4, plus a Torn Sculptor as removal and a creature that's large. Quandrix Pledge Mage as a nice creature can grow over time. Spectacle Mage. We have Pop Quiz, Heat Debate, Dream Strix, Divide by 0. Yeah, we had a lot of stuff going on. A decent amount of card draw, a decent way to learn our elemental summonings, and good amount of removal. The only thing that was maybe lacking was maybe the win conditions. Like, imagine if all of our win conditions got killed, including our flyers. And, yeah, then it would have been pretty difficult to close out the game, and we could have ended up decking ourselves. So against, like, another controlling deck, it could have been a problem, but we still managed to get there, and that was pretty awesome. So, yeah, started out 0-2, almost got swept, and we still got to 7 wins, so quite happy about this video. So let's claim our prize, and let's crack some packs, pretend we're drafting Strixhaven. Alright. And pack 1, pick 1. Strixhaven Premier Draft, what do we have the fine pleasure of opening? Let's see. Yeah, 10-0 is too good. Also quite splashable. I would splash this in any college because 5 mana isn't too much of a price. And yeah, it's just really great since it can double the number of 1/1 counters when it enters the battlefield. So it's going to be more of a Quandrix effect with the first ability. But the second ability is also pretty awesome since you can just turn all of your creatures into 4/4s, and that's really difficult to deal with. So basically, yeah, even if you're in a Witterbloom deck that's looking to go wide with pest tokens, or a Prismari deck with small creatures, you can just turn them all into 4/4s when 10-0 attacks, and it's just quite a bomb. So this is an easy first pick. The 3 best cards in this pack, the 3 second best cards out of this pack would be Agonizing Remorse, Expressive Iteration, and Elemental Masterpiece. I might actually prefer taking Expressive Iteration over Agonizing Remorse, because again, I'm not a big fan of Witterbloom, but this card is also pretty darn good. If I want to draft black in a set, I definitely want to be in Silver Quill and not Witterbloom. It does keep me the most open, so possibly still take Agonizing Remorse, But Expressive Iteration is just a really good card draw spell. Um, Definitely worth even splashing in a Quandrix deck, since it's just 2 mana draw 2, which is quite strong. Elemental Masterpiece, hopefully I can pick up later, since I preferred a more cheaper spell early on, and usually you can pick up enough win conditions in the late game and powerful, expensive spells. And if Prismari was open, yeah, I can end up wielding the Elemental Masterpiece, whereas Expressive Iteration is just more important to play early on. But definitely Tanazir here. But between Agonizing Remorse and Expressive Iteration, yeah, it would be difficult. I'm a big fan of forcing blue in this type of set. But, you know, Agonizing Remorse does keep us the most open, and it's still possible to be in a good Witterbloom deck. But Witterbloom overall takes a lot of work, so not sure. Or we can just end up forcing Silver Quill. So, not sure what I would take between both of these, but Tanazir is definitely the bomb. Burying Books, I would take over Damogoth Titan. Expanded Anatomy is also fantastic, and I would take over Titan. Overall, again, not a big fan of Witterbloom, and the problem with Witterbloom with cards like these is that there's just too many 4-drops in Witterbloom. There's the Moldering Karok, the 4-mana 3/3 lifelink trample. There's the Damogoth Titan. There's the Damogoth Woe Eater, and there's also just the Bear, the Professor of Anatomy. And then, you know, their 2-drops just aren't very aggressive. Their 3-drops, the best one's like the Blood Researcher if you can enhance it. And the cost for Damogoth Titan is just really high. Not only do you end up sacking creatures when this attacks or blocks, which could be a bit of a detriment, but there's also spells like Burying Books and Frost Tricksters in this set, which can tap it down and prevent it from doing much, which is a huge blowout sometimes, because if you attack with Damogoth Titan, sack your best creature, or sack a really good quality creature, and you end up getting buried in books, it really puts you back, and you can definitely get out-tempoed. So yeah, I probably won't take Damogoth Titan, and I would probably take Burying Books over Expand Anatomy. This card is definitely one of the best commons in the set, and blue's really good, and blue's the best color, so probably take Bury, even though this can keep me the most open. I think Burying Books is just too good to pass up, so gotta take Bury. Yeah, Tanazir again. Eye Twitch is okay. I think it's funny, these cards, the Eye Twitch is actually better in Silver Quill than in Witterbloom, because you want to put counters onto it, and this would become a real threat. Whereas, you know, if you keep this as a 1/1 creature that can, you know, learn, and, you know, when it dies, and it can ping the opponent once or so per turn, it's really not that particularly exciting. But if you can put at least maybe 1 or 2 counters, this card is really good. But yeah, it would be Tanazir, and if not, I would take Eye Twitch, maybe lean towards Silver Quill with a way to put counters on things. So yeah, Tanazir is another bomb. The funny thing is, I haven't seen a free Flame Painter go off, but at all in any of my matches. But I can definitely see this working. So I would maybe play this in either a Lorehold or a Prismari deck that has a decent amount of pump spells like Sudden Breakthrough to get this across. Like, if you're able to put a counter onto this, or at least enhance this creature's attack power bar once by 1 or 2, it's quite strong, since it has the ability to trample over, and you can just cast any target instance or sorcery from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. So I think it's definitely worth building around. But to note, I haven't seen this card trigger once this set so far, but I can definitely imagine seeing it happening. So it's kind of hard to decide between Ifrit Flame Painter, Burying Books, and Heated Debate. I think they're actually pretty close. If this was a 2/4 double strike, I would definitely take it over Burying Books and the Heated Debate, since they're both the best commons in the set. But really, the Flame Painter I haven't seen go off at all. But I wouldn't mind first picking this to kind of build around it. Growth Spiral is also fantastic, especially in Quandrix. Mage Hunter's Onslaught, good removal. Wormhole Serpent, also an overperformer in the set. Don't sleep on this card, guys. It's definitely a huge sleeper, but it really helps the Quandrix decks really close out games, especially if you're able to make like a really large token, sneak in 1 or 2 attacks. It's quite good. And in Quandrix, since you're always hitting your land drops, you can eventually just activate this 2 or 3 times, and you can just win the game on the spot. So don't sleep on Wormhole Serpent. It's definitely quite good, and it's a decent blocker. So yeah, I'll probably take Flame Painter, and then between Mage Hunters and Wormhole Serpents, yeah, I would probably still take Mage Hunter over Wormhole Serpents, even though, again, I think blue's the best color. Black is fine in the set, but I think the removal spell is just too good. Yeah, just take the rare. The rare is really strong. Both halves are really good. The green half, especially, since it can just allow you to draw your lands, and then in the late game, if you're able to, you can just make a million tokens. Once you're able to exile a couple of non-creature spells with different CMCs, this can just go off. The flying half is also again really good since it's just card draw every single turn in the late game. So both of these cards are fantastic cards in the late game. I think Kian is better in the early game since she can just hit your land drops with the exile ability and then eventually exile enough to eventually activate the 5-mana ability to make a bunch of fractal tokens. So yeah, I think both halves are great depending on what you want to do. So card advantage for Imbram and Kian. I guess Kian's also card advantage because it's also value since you're also just making green and blue fractal creature tokens in the late game. So, but both of them are good. I think I prefer Kian, but Imbram again has. I mean, both are. I mean, since she can just make a fractal token for 5 mana instead of drawing the card and then casting, which Ibrahim has to do. Ibrahim, it's probably going to require more mana to again draw the card and play it, whereas Kian can just make a token right away, so probably prefer the green half, but the blue half is also really good. Overgrown Arc is also fantastic. Best in Witterbloom, and it's definitely one of the more essential components in Witterbloom, since Witterbloom is trying to always gain life. But also really great in Quandrix. Between Overgrown Arc and Mage Hunter's Onslaught, I would actually prefer the Overgrown Arc, since it's just cheap, and it's better in Witterbloom, and it can actually make Witterbloom work if you pick up those Blood Researchers. It can just get out of hand if you can curve Overgrown Arc into Blood Researcher. So yeah, and then Mage Hunter's Onslaught, a third choice out of this pack. I would take the Mythic Uncommon Bookworm here, just a really powerful uncommon. Probably the best one of if not the best uncommons in the set. Just a powerful win condition, replaces itself, gains you life, and yeah, it just comes back, so kind of guarantees you late game inevitability unless you end up decking yourself. But still very strong card, and definitely very first pickable over a lot of rares and commons in the set. Dustspeaker is okay, but actually quite a reasonable card too, since it provides you card advantage if it can attack past something or get an attack without dying. So yeah, this card is good. Good if you can play this mostly in Prismari, but yeah, I can see this in Lorehold too. Just a nice way to get card advantage in the late game, but Bookworm is the bomb. So yeah, Jotzi is definitely great. The green half of it is still much better in Quandrix, since if you're flooding, you can just play this and just put all the lands on the battlefield. But yeah, Jotzi's really good, especially in Quandrix. If you can ramp him out, just a 5/5 body is really solid and just gains you a ton of card advantage by mage crafting. Make sure you don't end up decking yourself with Jotzi, because usually in the blue-green decks, there's a lot of card draw. I mean, I guess in blue in general, there's a ton of card draw, so you can end up accidentally decking yourself in the blue decks. But yeah, if you aren't, then Jossi's just gonna just end up drawing you a bunch of, providing a ton of value, and then he's also pretty much kind of invincible, since you can just end up discarding cards to return them back to your hand for free. So yeah, this card's a bomb. Clever Luminancer can also be a bomb in the right Silver Quill decks. You definitely need to play her in Silver Quill decks with multiple guiding lessons and lots of cheap instances and 1-mana instances and sorceries to get the pump effect, and it can definitely get out of hand. So don't sleep on Clever Luminancer. I've seen this card overperform in the Silver Quill decks. Not so much in Lorehold, but this card can definitely steal games. So yeah, Clever Luminancer, don't sleep on it. And then final pack. That's a lot of packs. Galazeth is a bomb. Yeah, I would first pick it. Might even splash in Quandrix, because the treasure token also provides ramp, and is a 4-mana 3/4 is a good flyer. Other great cards include Harmonize, Ether Helix, and Heat Debates. Not sure I would take Harmonize over Heated Debates, because if you're in Quandrix already, you're gonna get a ton of card draw, because on turn 4 there's the the Eureka Moment, which is essentially draw 2, put a land at instant speed, which is probably better than Harmonize. But if you're in Witterbloom, this just provides a ton of card advantage, and still a very good card. Yeah, I would probably still take Heated Debate over Harmonize, but I would take Harmonize to stay open over Ether Helix. But pack 1 pick 1, probably just Galazeth. but Heat Debates second, Harmonize third. So, yeah, there you guys have it. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'm hoping you guys enjoy Strixhaven. And always don't forget, always remember to draft blue in the set, or draft Silver Quill if you don't have a choice between the white and the black colleges. And as you can see, we have our nice 7-win videos that I'm hoping you guys enjoy. So thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys enjoy more content in the future. And take care. Have a good one.